How's your Saturday going on so far?
So it's so far so good.
Good. Nothing
Yeah.
special. Enjoying. No.
Not that much. Didn't go well with listening part.
Yes, I saw it. I was checking. You're slightly like struggling.
Yeah, but
I
I think I could have done well in listening.
hmm. Some
Mm.
there's one thing I suggest. It may be slightly like a personal advice, but since like it has to do with the like focus and concentration, right? Would you agree with that?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that the health is something that is related to the focus and concentration. Okay.
Hmm.
So, like usually when I try it, there are other students in the past, I think, sometimes exercise it does help. Like because it does help, like increase with the focus and concentration and
Concentration.
yeah, you feel fresh because I have done that, once. I mean, exercise on regular basis, but if you feel stuck, sometimes,
Hmm.
when you are like trying too hard but do not pay attention to other things, it can cause a problem. Okay,
Okay.
maybe yeah, try to like focus on the health a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there was this girl, Varsha. She was
Okay.
also struggling with the same issue.
Concentration.
Yes. She would like fluctuating, in the mock test she sometimes would achieve 8, 8.5, then 8. And when she went to the test center, she had some phobia. Okay. So,
Even I had that earlier when I had given. I don't know what happens to my listening. I really don't understand. What I sometimes I feel that I would miss the words initially. Only I start thinking that, or I think I shouldn't. I should focus on the question, like what's
mm,
been asked and all. I think
I think
so.
it's like a psychological thing, right? Like your yeah,
Psychological.
yeah. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't if your brain helps you automatically if you do not go with the fear, if you tell yourself, it's easy, you can do it, health, pay attention to that. I think you can do it. So this is only the obstruction. I mean I'm pretty sure you have achieved 7, 7. Other one, it's not listening is not a big deal, right? Like for
Mm,
right? Usually most of the people do achieve 8, 8.5.
8.58. Yeah, I don't know.
Usually
Okay,
writing
I
is
think
yeah.
practice. I think practice can only make overcome that.
Practice, yes, practice, but I also suggest you pay attention to your health as well. Okay, okay. Do not like, okay. There was this girl as well, Seema. Okay, she had a migraine. Okay, or
Okay.
she had like high cholesterol, and whenever she would try to focus, it would give her a headache. Then one day she later told me that, like this is why sometimes, like she struggles. But then I said, like you should first focus, like on the health. Then
Mm,
you're gonna be able to score. She attempted thrice, and then she was still stuck at 7.6.5 or something in reading.
okay.
So this is why I wanted to bring this up.
Okay.
Anyway, so now this was to warm up you as well. Okay, okay. Now
I
you
know.
are in the session. Now let's know
Okay.
feedback. I will try not to give feedback, and it's like okay, like real exam.
Okay.
All right. So
Great.
let's talk about patience, Romika. Okay. Do you consider yourself a patience person or a patient person? Sorry.
Okay. Yes, I do believe that I am a patient person, but sometimes I believe that I'm not that moderate as well. I do lose my patience and I overreact to certain things at work or at home. So there are several situations I would say that wherein I lose my temper.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what causes you to lose your anger?
That may be a particular situation, or if I am unable to meet my deadlines, or I am unable to achieve the goal that I had decided. So there are a couple of factors I would say, and it's not essential that I'm all time angry or in that I lose my temper. It depends on the situation. I would say again.
So do you think it's a, like a natural reaction, or is it something you need to control?
Well, I consider that as a natural reaction. It differs from person to person. Some people do lose patience, some do not. Some do not lose their cool temperament. They even do not react whenever they are going through a struggling or a difficult phase in their life. So I would say there is a perception behind that, and that leads to a natural or a generic reaction, whatever people react to that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think we should keep our emotions in check, like anger, frustration, and all like other emotions in check?
Yeah, till certain extent, I do agree with that. We should have a control over our emotions, such as these anger or anxiety feeling, or a very happy emotion, I would say. So, or even for instance, I would say some people are phobic of few things, like they cannot swim, they cannot go to the other to really rarely a height, or any other thing. So it depends from person to person. And yes, I do believe that we should overcome these emotional things. We should not get overburdened with them. So it's like a
Hmm.
psychological impact in our mind that creates the anxiety or this anger or any other emotion.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to Q card. Okay,
Okay.
your Q card is on the screen. You have 1 minute to
Okay.
prepare. You can use or not. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Start speaking.
Okay. So often these days we do not get much time to travel, but yet here would like to talk about one such journey that I really enjoyed, and that was the journey wherein I traveled to Jaipur. So it was during this lockdown situation when I traveled with my friends, and it was a birthday party of my friend, and we decided to visit Umaid Bhavan Hotel, and we partied there, visited few places with like Amar Place and other like caves were there. So that's an amazing place to visit, and it does have a lot of famous restaurants which a person enjoys. And we plus we also thrilled by we also did a trekking and did camping there, and also stayed in hotel. So that was an altogether a different experience for me, especially during this lockdown when we didn't get much time to meet our friends and enjoy with them. And apart from this, we also partied for the birthday celebration that we had. So that was a delightful moment for all of us. And the best and the remarkable moment that I enjoyed was the celebration we had at the party. And then we also had a pool party. It was quite fascinating for us to travel and then enjoy. So and apart from this, I would also like to mention that the Jaipur is not that far away. So it was a cool and delightful journey, and it didn't took much time to us to travel. We traveled by cab, as we have in our country, we have a good facilities of Uber and Ola cabs. So that was an amazing
Okay, 2 minutes
experience.
are up. Mhm. However, I think even though I'm not supposed to provide you feedback, but you did not explain why the journey was delayed. Did
Why
you
the
ex
journey was delayed?
Yes, the cue card is why important journey that was delayed.
Okay, okay. I thought that it was important journey you traveled. I didn't read clearly. I read that
Okay,
important
let's
journey you
move on.
traveled.
I will deduct marks for that. This is off topic, okay?
Okay.
Anyways, so let's talk about let's talk about uh, like we were talking about our patience, and like and delay. So, do you agree with this proverb that better late than never? Why not? Better late than never. Do you agree with this proverb? Why not?
In my opinion, better late or never, right?
Better late than never.
Better late. Okay.
Than never.
Okay. So, in my opinion, I believe that one should always keep a check on time. So, instead of if I have understood correctly, like if rather getting on a rather getting late for something, it should always be on time, and one should ensure that we follow the correct procedure. And for instance, if we miss a train or a bus, so it's due to our lack of concentration and lack of awareness that we were not that much disciplined, or we were not much aware that we had to catch a train, and we didn't find the right time to catch the train. So in that context, I would say that one should always prioritize the task, and accordingly one should react, and they should always
You cannot
follow.
make it a cue card. I will once again highlight that instructor will stop you. Okay, this has happened. If you try to make a question cue card, okay, just
Okay.
okay. So, well, the meaning was that because sometimes people drive fast in order to reach a
Okay, I
place.
didn't
That
understand the
that
correct meaning, I
the
think.
right better late than never means like like it's better to be late than die. Basically, like that's what it means. Like usually people drive fast in order to reach a place and they end up dying or end up in a
Oh,
crash. Like
okay,
this is
okay.
the like it's you will see on the streets or the highways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Better.
Okay.
Okay.
It's LAID. Better laid.
Better late than never. Uh,
Okay.
Let me type it. Maybe sometimes. Okay, so do you think this quotation or proverb
Mm,
applies to the police officers who are responding to a emergency situation?
uh, okay, better late than never. Okay. Yes, I do believe that what do you say, police people, right?
Police
Pol-
officers or law
Sorry.
enforcement.
Yeah, I do. I do believe that police officers should also follow this. That instead of driving fast or a fast vehicle, or instead of driving quite fast, I would say. I am messing it up, I think.
Good. I think you're not getting. You may have. However, okay, let's talk about. Let's let's say if you are the reason you're messing up. Let's say a police officer is responding to like a emergency situation, right? Someone is dying. So he has to respond, right? How can he be late? Right? He may die, right? Let's say if there's a fire, right? Usually like firefighters. So like you
Yes.
so I think let me find the meaning. I think maybe if I'm not using better late than never is so you should say like
I haven't heard this proverb earlier.
usually they never
Okay.
I think it's in like in India as well, right? Better late than never. It's better to arrive or do something late than like this is what it means. Let me
Okay. Okay, I
Okay,
took
but
that
usually
another way. I
you,
took it vice versa. I took it like we should do early. Okay, it's better for someone to arrive or do something late than not to arrive or do it at all. Okay,
okay.
okay,
So, but in this situation, let's say a law enforcement officer or a police officer is responding to a situation where immediate assistance is required or immediate response is required. If he's late, how the hell is gonna save people, right? Hmm. Okay. So
okay,
this is now you respond again. Okay. So do you think
okay.
police officers should follow this policy while responding to emergency situations or 911 call or 100 calls?
Well, in my opinion, like police officers should not respond to such situation because it is essential to save the life of a person who is being dying,
You
and
said should
thus,
not respond. They should. This is why I think, this was this girl, Anchal, she had 7.5 in first time and it was completely like off topic, incoherent. Okay. So okay, anyways. So, I mean, they should, right? Do you think they should not? Okay,
okay, sorry,
yeah,
okay, they
yeah, I know
should.
this is funny. Okay, so let's say what excuses, let me find what excuse do you make when you're late for a job?
Okay. Well, there are several excuses that I would make for being late at job work. So, firstly, it would be that I couldn't catch my like cab, so I got late, and that would be a possible reason. And secondly, it would be that I wasn't feeling that well, so I joined my office for an hour late or for a late time that way.
So does it work all the time? Does your boss accept this excuse all the time, or he knows that she's lying?
Oh, that depends totally. That sometimes yes, the manager is aware that she's making excuses or she's lying. But however, it's not that essential that it might happen in like in real as well. So that may be the opposite side as well.
Okay, one last question. How do you deal with the difficult boss?
Well, I believe that we should always I always try to keep a difficult boss as cool and calm, because in every situation, likewise, I have to get any approval done for my work or any other part of task that I have to completed. So therein I require his approval and his sanction. So I would like him to stay cool and calm, so that he's not always difficult for me, or it's not harder for me to crack any deal from him.
Okay. All right, so your interview is over or speaking session is over. I will provide the feedback, okay?
I